it may or may not be Wednesday, but we're calling it Writing Wednesday anyway. Hoping to get this uploaded on Wednesday. Missed last Wednesday. This one's going to get uploaded sometime this week as my traveling Wi-Fi allows. It might be Wednesday, it might not. Here's the thing, I've been on vacation all summer because, you know, I'm a teacher, so hate me, but it's not really a paid vacation, don't forget that. But now I'm doing the vacation part where I actually leave my home base and travel in the world, and you'll be hearing more about that when I get back, including one last book talk video, hopefully if it works out, from a very interesting and appropriate to the book location, so that's something to look forward to. But I'm recording a couple before I go to air while I'm away, and if I manage to get them uploaded, that'll be great. But I want to talk about a love story, because I haven't talked a lot about love stories in this series, and I want to talk about what I think is the most romantic novel of the 20th century, Dorothy Sayers' Gaudy Night. Now, if you know anything about this book, you know that ostensibly it's a mystery. Sayers was a mystery novelist. She created her great detective, Lord Peter Wimsey, and she wrote many, many novels in which Wimsey solves mysteries, but she also wrote this series of novels beginning with Strong Poison, in which Lord Peter Wimsey falls in love with Harriet Vane, a young woman who is accused of murder. He solves the murder, gets her off, woos her over the course of a book called Have His Carcass, in which they solve a murder together. And then in Gaudy Night, some years after originally meeting, they finally get together, and she responds to his manyth plea to marry him, which, you know, he's been proposing to her for like 5 years. So it's the kind of love story that comes as the culmination of a relationship that's been really, really carefully built up and layered, and I really like that. It's also one of the most egregious examples ever in literature, I think, of an author inserting herself into the story, or a character very much like herself, to give her a wish fulfillment happy ending. Because Harriet Vane is a lot like Dorothy Sayers in many ways. She is a mystery novelist, a smart, strong woman, single, independent, lived in some ways a very unconventional life. Not everybody approves of her, but she meets and marries the incredibly handsome, incredibly rich, incredibly brilliant man who falls head over heels in love with her, Lord Peter Wimsey. I'm sure Dorothy Sayers, having written many books about Lord Peter Wimsey, had fallen a little bit in love with him herself, and she created a character really very much like herself for Lord Peter to fall in love with and marry. And that could be done really badly. It could be done in a really schlocky fan fiction way, but it's not. It's really well done because the characters are so well and so richly developed, and the style, the language of Sayers' writing is just so brilliant. I've talked a lot about language in this series because I think it is so important in what we learn from good writers. Another English mystery writer, Jill Peyton Walsh, has taken over this series in recent years and written continuations of the Lord Peter Wimsey novels. I'm not one of those fans who hates them and doesn't like the new books, but I do think they lack something because they lack Sayers' language. And she infused these characters with their spirit through the words that they used and the words she used to describe them. They're really novels in which language and character are almost inseparable, and they are also a great, great, great love story, one that is not at all cliched, maybe a little bit, but not very much, and built over patience and time, and built with two richly detailed characters that you really believe in. So Gaudy Night is not really a mystery. Hardcore mystery fans find the mystery aspect of this a little bit thin, but it is a great, 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 great love story, which is then continued in the next book, Busman's Honeymoon. I recommend you read all four: Strong Poison, Have His Carcass, Gaudy Night, and Busman's Honeymoon, to see how she takes this relationship and develops it and fleshes it out. And I can't think of another writer who does the thinking woman's romance better than Dorothy Sayers did it probably, what, 80 years ago now in the Lord Peter Wimsey novels.